let me ask you something. When you picture a successful freelancer, what's the first image that comes to mind? For most people, it's probably someone who's a total natural at networking, effortlessly charming on sales calls, someone who's just always on. It's a really powerful stereotype. But what if I told you that's not the only way? Today, we're going to explore a quieter and honestly, a much more powerful path to freelance success.
So let's just get right to the heart of it. Is freelancing a game that's only built for the loudest person in the room? The short answer? A big, fat no. In fact, as we're about to see, some of the absolute best freelancers out there are the ones who are quiet, thoughtful, and incredibly observant.
All right, so first things first, we need to tackle what I call the freelancer myth. This is that stereotype we're going to bust wide open. This idea that to succeed, you have to be some kind of master networker. It's a myth that holds so many incredibly talented people back, and it is time to just tear it down.
Yeah, this slide just lays it out so perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the myth, the loud, outgoing type who feels like they have to be on 24/7. But then, look to the right. That is the reality for so many top-tier freelancers. Their success has nothing to do with volume. It's all about being a master of their craft. They're quiet, they're thoughtful, and because of that, they're deeply effective.
So that brings us to the real game of freelancing. And you know what? It requires a pretty fundamental shift in how we think about it. The subtitle here says it all. It is not about noise, it's about value. Success isn't about who can shout the loudest, it's about who can create the most meaningful value for their clients, period.
Oh man, I absolutely love this definition. Let's really break it down. Creating value for people who trust you enough to let you work in their world. What's the key word there? It's trust. This whole thing isn't about slick salesmanship. It's about earning a client's confidence so much that they literally invite you into their world to help make it better.
And this right here is such a crucial point. Trust isn't built with loudness. You don't need a megaphone. What you need is clarity. The ability to communicate your value so clearly and directly that your message just cuts right through all the other noise.
And here's the other big piece of the puzzle. It's not about that energy-draining, constant chatter. That just leads straight to burnout. No, it's about deliberate, focused action. It's about consistency, consistently delivering amazing work, consistently showing up, and becoming that reliable partner a client knows they can count on. Now for my favorite part. Let's talk about your introvert superpowers. This is where we're going to flip the script on those very traits you might have thought were weaknesses. Because let me tell you, they are not weaknesses. They are powerful, strategic advantages.
And it all kicks off with this one simple thing: listening. Introverts are natural deep listeners. You know how some people in a conversation are just waiting for their turn to talk? Well, an introvert is actually absorbing everything, not just what's being said, but the unspoken frustrations and needs of a client. And that ability to truly listen and observe, that, my friends, is freelance gold. Because understanding a client's real problem, the one they might not even know how to describe, is the absolute core of any successful freelance business. That's how you stop being just a task doer and become an invaluable problem solver. And that listening skill gets even sharper with these 3 secret weapons. You've got deep focus, which lets you get into that state of flow where others just burn out. You've got subtle observation, which helps you see the patterns and opportunities that literally everyone else misses. And when you put those two together, you get strategic problem solving. You're not just offering a service, you're delivering a real solution.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but what about the scary stuff? What about sales? Well, believe it or not, this is where your quiet advantage truly shines, because trust will always speak louder than hype. Let's just tackle this head on. Pitching, selling, negotiating, I get it. These are the parts of freelancing that can feel completely unnatural for an introvert. But what if I told you that your natural approach is actually better? So, the typical approach, right, is all about competing for attention, just shouting into the void, trying to get noticed. But the introvert's approach is totally different. It's about attracting trust. It's quieter, it's more grounded, and it's like a magnet, pulling the right clients directly to you. In a world this noisy, that is incredibly powerful. So why does this work so well? Let's break it down. First off, because you think before you speak, your words carry more weight. Second, your proposals feel personal and insightful because they're built on that deep listening we talked about, not some pushy template. And third, that calm, confident presence you have in a chaotic world, that is magnetic. It makes clients feel secure. Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get super practical and talk about the how.
I'm going to give you a simple but really powerful playbook with strategies you can start using today to build your freelance business around your natural strengths, not against them.
All right, here it is, your playbook. Number 1, automate the chaos. Seriously, use tools for scheduling or email templates for follow-ups. Save your precious energy for the deep work. Number 2, show your process. Don't just deliver the final product. Create simple case studies that show clients your thoughtful approach. Let them see the magic. 3, market with content, not chatter. Instead of draining networking events, write an insightful article. Let your expertise do the talking and pull clients in. And finally, number 4, and this is so important, protect your focus. Block out deep work time on your calendar. Create boundaries. Your focus is your greatest asset. Guard it fiercely.
If you take just one thing away from all of this today, let it be this. Really let it sink in. Success isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about having a clear, confident voice that delivers real, undeniable value.
Your ability to listen deeply, to focus intently, to solve problems thoughtfully, that's not a disadvantage. That's your competitive edge. That is your superpower. So I'll leave you with this question. What are you going to build with it?